Hey kiddos, welcome to week 2 of solving expressions and equations, where this week we're really focusing on the equations part, making sure that we feel much more comfortable before we move on to our inequalities. So let's get started. Our first step is always to identify where the variable is, to get that variable by itself. We're going to start with any constants. Remember, constant has nothing stuck to it, nothing to change it. So in this case, that means we're moving this 5 first. I know that I need to move a 5 to both sides, but how do I cancel it out? With my opposite. So instead of adding 5, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. When I do that, these cancel out because 5 minus 5 is 0. I'm left with 5n is equal to 40. Now we have our sticky numbers. The 5 and n are stuck together. The only way to get them apart is to divide them. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5. These cancel out, leaving me with n. 40 divided by 5 gives me 8. If I went back in and put in my 8, it would be 5 times 8 plus 5 equals 45. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 5 is equal 45. This checks out. It is a true statement. All right, over to here. Again, we're going to start with our constants first. So instead of the minus 3, I'm going to add 3 to both sides. When I do that, I have to take into account that this is a negative 11. So opposite signs subtract. 11 minus 3 is 8, and it's negative because the larger number is negative. Y divided by 6 means I'm going to multiply both sides by 6. Y stays on this side. 6 times 8 is 48. Opposite signs are negative. Negative 48 is y. Coming down here, I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. Cancels out, leaves me with 12x is equal to negative 40 and negative 8 together. Give me negative 48. Divide both sides by 12. I get x is equal to 4, and it's negative because we have opposite signs. Over here, I'm going to start with sharing out my 4. 4 times g is 4g. Minus 4, because 4 times negative 1 is negative 4 equals 24. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. I'm left with 4g is equal to 28. Divide both sides by 4. G is equal to 28 divided by 4, which gives me 7. Start with my constants. Opposite signs mean I'm going to subtract. So I have 19 minus 3, which leaves me with 16. It's negative because my larger sign is negative. Divide by negative 2. P is equal to 8. Opposite signs make it a positive 8. Last one for this page. Subtract my 1 from both sides. Leaves me with 35 is equal to 7a. I have my sticky numbers. The only way to get them apart is to divide. Dividing both sides by 7 to cancel that out. A is equal to 5 because 5 times 7 is 35. That is the end of this page. Any questions? Bring them with you to class. On to page number 2. Sorry, I need a sip of water there. All right, page number 2. Let's get rocking and rolling. Divide both sides by 4. When I do that, A is equal to 6. And it's a negative 6 because we have opposite signs on this side. Over here, I'm going to start with adding 11 to both sides. Opposite signs subtract. So 11 take away 9 is 3. I'm sorry, 2. B divided by 8, opposites mean to multiply. Here we have 16 is equal to B. Down here, we're going to get rid of our division first with multiplication. When we do that, we get 26 is equal to W minus 14. Add 14 to both sides. We got 40 is equal to W. Over here, this is a sticky one because this one has 2 variables. We have one here and one here. So I'm going to start with subtracting my Q to see how many I really have. So I have 10 is equal to 5Q. Sticky numbers, 2 is equal to Q. Again, I could substitute it back in and just check. Is 2 times 2 plus 10, which would be 2 times 2 is 4 plus 10 is 14, the same as 7 times 2? It is. All right, subtract our 1, subtract our 1. Uh-oh, is this a repeat? It's not. It's feeling familiar. All right, so we have 35 is equal to 7a. Divide both of these by 7. 35 divided by 7 is equal to 5. So 5 is the value of a. Last one over here, minus 6. Opposites subtract. We have 4. Divide by my sticky numbers. V is equal to 2. Any questions? Bring them with you to class. All right, Nuggets, page 3. We are still in the land of variables. We want to get this r by itself. So let's start by subtracting 5 from both sides. When we do this, we have negative 35 is equal to 7r. Divide both sides by 7. The answer is 5. And it's negative because we have opposite signs. Negative 5 is equal to r. Over here, constants first. When I do that, these cancel out. 13 minus 4 is 9, and it's negative because the larger sign is negative. When I see a fraction, the opposite is multiply. D is equal to negative 99. Let's move and groove. Sharing out that 9. 9 times 6 is 54 plus 9m is equal to negative 27. I'm going to subtract 54 from both sides. That leaves me with 9m. These are the same sign, so they're going to grow in a negative way. 7 and 4 is 11, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's going to be negative 81. Divide both sides by 9. Get rid of those sticky numbers. M is equal to negative 9. Over here, constants first, kick them out. 5t is equal to 30. Divide both sides by 5. Get rid of those sticky numbers. T is equal to 6. Kick out the constant. 2m is equal to 16 divided by 2 divided by 2. M is equal to 8. Last one. Share the 6. 36 equals 6u minus 6. Add 6 to both sides. 42 is equal to 6u. Sticky numbers, we divide. 7 is equal to u. Any questions on page 3? Bring them with you to class. All right, on to page 4, where we're going to kick out the constant. 20 is equal to 5h. Sticky numbers, divide them. 4 is equal to h. Constants first. Constants first. We have p divided by 8 is equal to 1. 6 and 7 are opposites, so we subtract. Larger number gives us the sign. Multiply both sides by 8 to cancel out. P is equal to 8. Moving and grooving on down. Share the 2. 28 plus 2t is equal to negative 10 minus 28 minus 28. 2t is equal to 38. It's negative. It's growing in a negative way. I'm going to divide both of these sides by 2, and I get that t is equal to 19 and negative 19 at that because we have opposite signs. Kicking out the constant, 21 is equal to 3b. Sticky numbers, we divide. 7 equals b. Sharing out the 4, we have negative 24 is equal to 4k plus 6 minus 6 from both sides. Same sign, so they're growing in a negative way. 30 divided by 4 is going to be 7.5. It's negative. Is equal to k. Doesn't divide evenly, but that's okay. Share your 7. 7b. Ooh, my hand and my mouth are not matching. Minus 14 equals 56. Plus 14. Plus 14. Kick that constant out. We have a 10. 5, 6, 7. Divide both sides by 7. And we have v is equal to 10. Any questions on page 4? Bring them with you to class. All right, last page for this week. You'll see up here, I labeled it a challenge because all of these have double variables. If you did not feel up for that, that is okay, but it's worth a try. All right, my loves, we're going to start with getting our variables on the same side. So here I have 17 is equal to n minus 8. Kick the 8. 17 plus 8 gives me 25 is equal to n. Coming over here, always want to try and subtract the variable when possible because we don't want to end up with a negative variable. We're not quite ready for that just yet. We can handle it. We just haven't talked about it in class yet. So we always want to try and get a positive variable. Minus 2x. It's going to get it by itself. 6x is equal to 36. We know what to do with sticky numbers. Divide them. X is 6. Kicking that 2x over. 4x equals 44. Sticky numbers. Divide them. Divide them. X is equal to 11. Over here, we're going to get rid of the ones. We have 3x is equal to 18. Sticky numbers. X is equal to 6. And then our last one, I'm going to take my 3x. I'm going to kick it over here. We have 4x plus 10 equals 120. But I got to get rid of that 10. I got to kick it out. 4x is equal to 110. Sticky numbers. 110 divided by 4 isn't equal, but it's not bad. It's equal to 27.5 or 27.5. Any questions? Bring them with you to class. Have a great weekend, my loves, and I will see you next